process is only one aspect of our practice. The practice involves our emotional state of mind, our logical, strategic thinking, and our physicality. Hey everyone, I'm Marianne Mitchell. Welcome to Whole Artist Mastery, where you discover your true authentic expression and learn how that informs your particular use of visual language and knowing how you show up in the world as an artist. So today, I'm going to be talking about a subject that comes up regularly in my conversations, both in the individual programs, the mentorship artists who work with me, as well as group conversations and conversations with friends who are artists. And the topic is the difference between making a painting and your whole practice. Because many people struggle with feeling like they're not really artists if they aren't producing on a regular basis. If they feel like they don't have time to paint and then they start to feel guilty, or that the inspiration has left their being for a while, or they never make a painting that they feel lives up to their expectations. So that's perfectionism going on there. So I want to talk about how all these things fit together to give us an awareness that we are true artists and what the whole of that means. Our world, our society, our community, whatever word you want to put to that, is very product oriented. So it's hard for me to refer to creating a painting as a product, but in fact, that's what we're doing. We're producing something that is the result of our creative expression, our artistic channel, and using the chosen medium that we're working with, and how all of that comes together to create a painting. And you know, we like to make paintings that we like. We like to make paintings that people want to buy, or we like to make paintings that really connect with those who see them. Or, you know, it could just be that we like to make paintings that we only connect with. Wherever you fall on that spectrum, we like to make work that we like. And so when we make work that is, or when a painting is not going the way we would like it to go, you know, as evidenced by the painting behind me, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing with this painting. And I'm sort of stuck with it, meaning I have yet to figure out how to go forward with it. And so it's a little frustrating. It's a little bit like, and it's a little deflating, because the last painting I finished was one of the strongest paintings I've made in the last year. So I start to feel a little bit like, okay, well, I need to give myself some time. And years ago, when I was a young artist, this kind of place that I'm in right now would bother me. It would make me feel like I'm lesser than, that I'm unable to make a consistent body of good work, and that, you know, my tendencies to want every piece to be perfect, there's that perfectionism sneaking in, would set up this barrier because the expectation of making something really good kept my inner voice, or my inner energy for that channel that connects to the mystery of making a painting, would shut down. And by doing that, it just perpetuated the whole thing, because when that channel is shut down, it makes it very difficult to organically express what is inside you and how it comes out. Many of the mentorship artists that I work with talk about this as well, and they struggle with understanding that they really are whole artists through this experience of frustration that a painting isn't going anywhere, of feeling guilty that they're not painting on a regular basis, of feeling like they're lesser than because they've been rejected from several different shows that they've applied to. We all know what that's like, and if you are without that feeling, then you should try submitting to more shows, because getting rejected is a huge part of the practice, your artistic practice. So what constitutes a practice, our practice, is very different than making a singular painting. Making a singular painting is about the process from start to finish, and if you go to many of my videos, talk about the 4 phases. I think there's one that focuses on all of the phases, and then there are videos that zero in on each one of the phases, which are: number 1, phase 1 is reckless abandon, number 2 is critical analysis, number 3 is integration, and number 4 is resolution. So each of these videos will go into each of those phases in greater depth than what I'm doing right now. But the point is, it's about the process. The process is only one aspect of our practice. The practice involves our emotional state of mind, our logical, strategic thinking, and our physicality. You know, if you're tired all the time, if you've had COVID, if you've had a really bad cold, if you've just had major tooth surgery or whatever, you know, you don't really feel like being in the studio. So there's a physicality. There's also a physicality in how we eat. You know, popping M&Ms because you're tired will get you going for about an hour and then you'll crash. So it's important to know what to eat to sustain yourself through a day of painting. All of the things that I've just mentioned are pieces that make up your whole practice. And so actually, in a conversation I had with someone who's working with me this morning, she was talking about, or she's working with me now, this conversation was this morning, about how she never feels like she makes a painting that she's happy about, that's good. And she feels like she's all over the map, and I'm supposed to have, you know, consistent body of work, which I talk about in one of my latest videos, how to make a consistent body of work. And, you know, again, I told her that's only one piece of the practice, that the frustration, the feeling like you're without awareness of what you're doing, the vulnerabilities, the insecurities, and the great successes. When she comes to the conversation and says, I feel really good about what I'm doing, that's part of the practice as well. And so the key here is to understand that, as in all aspects of life, things are constantly changing. So when you have this moment of great euphoria because you've finished this painting that is, you just know, is one of your stronger pieces, like I spoke of a few minutes ago about my latest piece that I finished, there's this tremendous sense, it's ineffable, it's impossible to describe, but there's this tremendous sense of euphoric accomplishment, personal, spiritual, physical accomplishment in creating a painting that works on all levels. And, you know, it lasts until it's gone, until you come back to the your easel or your wall and you start again, and you are quickly humbled by the fact that the painting that you're working on is, going nowhere. That's part of the practice. So what I mean here is, as you go along your path and you question, am I truly an artist because I don't want to paint all the time? Am I truly an artist because I'm interested in writing, or I'm interested in traveling, or I love making a beautiful holiday table and the whole month of December is taken up focusing on the holidays? Or that used to be me many, many years ago when my daughter was young. And I would question, every December when I would, for about 6 weeks, not go to the studio because I was busy throwing parties and going to school, plays, and all that kind of stuff that you do as a young mother. And my identity would start to feel a little shaky. And now I know that that's just part of the whole practice. So I invite you to think about, for yourself, what are the pieces that live in your whole practice? Pieces of your life, pieces of how you think, pieces of the job of being an artist, the materials that you have to procure, buy online or in person. And if you're pursuing this as a professional track, you have to constantly be considering what your marketing strategy is, and are you implementing the marketing strategy that you put into place? And if you've yet to put a marketing strategy into place, then what does that look like? And that's a very important part of a practice. Maybe not your practice, or maybe it is. So when we make a singular painting that really is what we want, we celebrate that. That's part of our practice as opposed to the practice. So I invite you to share your thoughts down below in the comments section and tell me, what your practice is about, and if you have any questions about how you define your practice. And to know this, that if you're a person who's completely unable to walk away from making art forever, even if you walk away for 4 years and then come back to it, Georgia O'Keeffe did that, you are a true artist. So I hope this was helpful. I look forward to seeing you in the Whole Artist Mastery community that I will be sharing more about. We're very excited to launch an online inclusive community in mid-January of 2024. So more information and details forthcoming. And meanwhile, I invite you to look at the Whole Artist Mastery website, peruse what we have to offer in terms of online courses and virtual events that are free, Wham Wednesday. And if you're interested in really diving deeper in understanding yourself as an artist, as a whole human being really, and how that shows up in your artwork, and making that connection, sign up for a complimentary conversation. If you're ready to make a serious commitment to really expanding as a whole artist. So thanks so much for watching. Press that little like button if you enjoyed this video and any of the other ones, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.